Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. In this video, I'll speak about GBPUSD. And as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first, I'll cover the technical aspect for this market. Then we will be moving to the order flow by looking at the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is essentially what the big players in the market are doing and how they're moving and shifting their orders, which is what you see right here. And by the end of the video, by using a combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here for this pair. So this is definitely a video you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which at the moment is rejecting to the upside a quite strong historical monthly support and demand area. From here, in fact, all these previous rejections to the upside were created, fueled by strong institutional buying, and at the moment the market is testing and rejecting the same zone, again with institutional positioning moving back to the bullish side for GBPUSD, as we will now check out in just a few moments. But for now, let's keep in mind that the market is rejecting to the upside strong historical monthly support and demand and drop down on the weekly time frame. From a weekly perspective, we can notice a perfect shift from a weekly bearish market to now a weekly bullish market. In fact, the market went from creating lower lows and lower highs to now creating higher highs and higher lows. So we had a perfect inversion of trend. And at the moment, since the market has created a test of previous supply and resistance, as we can see right here, because remember that from here, all this rejection to the downside started. So now that the market is testing the same zone, there is definitely the possibility of seeing first a reaction to the area before then, more bullish continuation if the market wants to continue higher. But at least in the short term, there is definitely the possibility of seeing some short-term bearish price action being developed. Dropping down on the daily time frame, what do we see? Now, from a daily, we can already identify a potential target area to the downside in case of a rejection away from that strong supply and resistance zone. In fact, this level here is the previous daily resistance turn support and the structure area, inside of which, if the market will retrace to this zone, there is the possibility of seeing more institutional buying. Now, why do I say more institutional buying? Because if we go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders and we pull out the data for the GBP, the first thing that we have to keep in mind is that if we are looking at the data for the GBP, we're actually already looking at GBPUSD because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. And we can see how with the last report, net positions went from 6.5k to 20.4k. So we had a massive increase of net positions with 8,300 longs added just with the last report and 5,600 shorts getting closed, reaching 94,000 longs compared to only 73,000 shorts. So we had a massive amount of positioning shifting back to the bullish side for GBPUSD from an institutional perspective. So let's keep that in mind and move back to the chart. And by the way, if you still haven't, make sure that you join my free Telegram channel, which you find linked in the description so you never miss new updates. Now back to the analysis. So from a daily perspective, we have an impulse followed by a potential correction. Now, if we want to measure that potential correction, we have to take our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg, and we can see how we will have the 0.618 and 0.786 also lining up at the beginning of this strong demand and support zone, creating extra confluence for increased probabilities of seeing institutional longing instead of the level. So if the market will correct to this zone, what would I expect? Well, as my students know very well, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes combined with the COT data, those are the best timeframes when it comes to the directional aspect of the market. However, when it comes to identifying early shifts in the trend of a market, the best timeframes for that are the intraday timeframes, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what I would expect is that if this market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market inside of the strong demand and support zone, I wouldn't be surprised to see a potential rejection to the upside away from this area, completing this daily impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. That definitely wouldn't surprise me. Now, if you want to learn more, I really recommend that you go and check out my website, which is linked in the description, because what you see me share here on YouTube is actually just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, if you head over to the website in the description, you will have the possibility to join the best trading program on the planet. You will gain access to all the courses ranging from the very basics of charting all the way to the more advanced topics like building automated trading strategies using the MQL4 programming language, building portfolios of strategies using quantitative finance tools like the Quant Analyzer, and much more. You will have the possibility, in fact, to gain access to the trading station software with the Telegram notifications integration, one-on-one private mentoring directly with me, the COT data software, which often you see me use directly in my YouTube videos, on all my platforms actually. And if you scroll down, you will see that you also have the possibility to get the integration. So all my EAs, which you find here presented one by one directly on the website. And you also have the possibility to gain access to my live trading show. So I live stream of all the trades on my live account as they're opened, closed, trade, and obviously managed. And if you continue to scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join just after here the testimonials and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. So I really suggest that at least you go and check it out. The link is in the description and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you leave a like. Also, let me know in the comments below any new pairs that you would like me to cover in my next videos. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates, and I will see you in my next video.